So first of all, let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
What's up, guys? I hope everybody's doing well out there and taking care of yourselves, taking care of each other. You know what? I came across an article today, which was put out I think a day or two ago, and I wanted to share it with everybody. You know, people want to know what's going on here in the Philippines. You know, they don't get all the news all the time. I know there's OFWs, there's expats, or not expats, but Phil-ams that live all over the world that want to know what's going on, and you know, your local news don't get it, and sometimes even the internet, sometimes you can't even get off of that. But I came across this article. You guys, you know what? Forgive me, I'm not the best reader. I can admit I'm not the best reader. But I wanted to share this article with you, and I'll kind of sum it up at the end. The article comes from the Inquirer.net. It says 4,500 foreigners thrown out by hotels due to the Luzon quarantine. This comes out of Manila, Philippines. Some 4,500 foreign tourists were kicked out of hotels and ended up sleeping in the open since the government declared a Luzon-wide lockdown last week and restricted all travels due to the chimp. I call it the chimp. The deputy head of the European Union delegation to the Philippines, Thomas Werinsing, on Tuesday called the attention of Foreign Secretary Teodoro let's just call him Luzon Jr., to the plight of about 4,500 foreign tourists stranded in the Philippines because they could not book any flights home. Luzon readily took to Twitter to rant against the hotels that locked out their foreign guests. Met EU CDA Thomas Werinsing, who delivered the bad news that foreign tourists are sleeping in the open air without shelter or roof over their heads because their hotel kicked them out once their booking ended, even if they failed to book domestic flights out. Luzon tweeted, blacklisting hotels. Even those who are pregnant or have medical conditions are not being given consideration, Luzon said, adding that he would call on the Department of Tourism to blacklist the hotels that kicked out foreign guests. The stranded tourists are from the EU, which has 27 member countries: Argentina, Australia, Canada, Norway, South Korea, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. Luzon said the EU envoy asked the government to increase the frequency of domestic flights or sea transportation from the islands to international ports to allow them to get shelter if there were no flights out of plain human decency. He alerted the Department of Transportation to assist all the stranded tourists to reach international airports where they can take flights, including those arranged by their embassy. He said local government unit that stopped the tourists from taking domestic carriers in view of the Luzon lockdown should be sanctioned. Under the Interagency Task Force of Emergency Infectious Disease guidelines on the so-called enhanced community quarantine issued on March 18th, hotels are not allowed to operate unless they accommodate guests who have existing booking accommodations for foreigners as of March 17, 2020. Guests who have existing long-term leases and employees from exempt establishments with essential workers like healthcare and food service. The DOT probe. The IATF guidelines said unless it will be for employees from exempted establishment. The IATF guidelines said unless it will be for employees from exempted establishment, no booking accommodations shall be permitted. In all cases, hotels operating shall be limited to the provision of basic lodging to guests, the guidelines added. The DOT guidelines on hotels also said no hotels, resort, tourist inns, motels, and the likes were allowed to operate except for those with foreign guests with existing bookings under any accommodations established as of 17 March 2020. Long-staying guests with existing bookings as of 17 March 2020, and guests who are employees of neighboring basic establishments like supermarkets and hospitals. New booking of only these guests are allowed, the DOT said. Luz can nevertheless put the blame on the hotels, even if they were following government orders. Tourism Secretary Bernadetta Puyat on Tuesday said her office would investigate these hotels and establishment in question and file legal actions if necessary. It is regrettable that these incidents occur even after we released our implementing rules and regulations for hotels during the community quarantine, Putin said in his statement. The secretary said DOT's regional offices are in constant cooperation with local government units and embassies in the Philippines to address foreign tourists' plight. Rest assured, we will help all stranded tourists find temporary accommodations until they are able to find outgoing flights back to their countries. All right. Like I said, I am not the best reader. I hope you kind of understand it. Let me kind of wrap it up. Let me tell you what's going on. These guests have been removed from these hotels and thrown out on the street. Those that are in charge, are basically pissed. They're mad that they did this. They are keeping an eye on the hotels here, even places that are selling food, to make sure they're not price gouging. They don't want that to go on. If they're caught, I don't know what's going to happen, but they're saying they're going to blacklist some of these hotels, or these hotels that threw these foreigners out. Blacklisting is basically blacklisting them. They're not allowed, here's what happens here too a lot. You've heard of this saying, saving face here in the Philippines. Filipinos saving face, saving face. What they do here is, and I've seen this, situations like this happen, and I was reading an article where they were talking about doing this. They drag these people in front of the media. They bring them in, drag them in front of the media, throw cameras in their face so all the Philippines can see and all the people can see. And they basically tell them, hey, what you've done is wrong. We're showing your face to everybody. We're going to tell the people what hotels you're from. They put that out there, and it's basically shaming them in front of their own people and the public. It's called, losing face. But they're not happy about this situation. Another article I was reading, they got him to the airport and stuff. So that's a good thing. As far as I know, here up in Angeles City, I haven't heard of anybody being thrown out of hotels. Now, I do know hotels are not accepting people to coming in. If you're there, you're there. Like I said, I also heard some hotels were going to shut down because they're not making money, or they just don't have the clientele there. Now, what's going to happen if there are people staying at those hotels? What are they going to do with them? Since other hotels are not allowing booking, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Like I said, I haven't heard anything negative or bad up here in Angeles City. I personally think they're doing an excellent job up here. I think the mayor's doing a good job. I think the frontline people that are controlling things here in Angeles City are doing a great job. But like I said, I haven't heard anything when it comes to any of the hotels here. And I get a lot of people who are sending me messages when they hear something. But anyways, like I said, I wanted to put that out there. I wanted to share that with everybody. Like I said, I'm not the best reader. I'm not. Search it on your own if you want to read more about it. But I wanted to share that. Like I say, take care of each other at this time. You got to take care of yourself first. If you don't take care of yourself first, you can't take care of anybody else. So take care of yourself first, and take care of your family. Take care of the young ones. Take care of the sick. Take care of the elderly. Do what you can do. If you're here in the Philippines, look out for those frontline people. Those people that are out there every day, keeping everybody safe. If you can, help them out, give them some Give them some fruit, whatever, water, whatever. They're out there standing in the heat. Help them out. And you know what? This is world history. I've said it before. We're living through it. How you're getting through it, that's part of your history. So everybody take care, and we'll talk to you later.